FBI field office was a 40-minute bus ride downtown. Jake had researched the route, timing it so we'd arrive before they closed. The building was intimidating, all glass and steel with security guards at the entrance. "We need to speak to Agent Williams," Jake told the receptionist. "It's about a tip we received." She looked skeptical until Jake showed her the note. Her expression changed immediately. "Wait here." 10 minutes later, a tall black man in a crisp suit emerged. "I'm Agent Williams. You have information for me?" We spent the next hour in a small conference room, showing him everything. The photos from the truck stop, the emails, the brochure from Dr. Reyes. Agent Williams took notes, occasionally asking for clarification. "This is good work," he said finally. "But I need you to understand something. These operations are complex. It takes time to build a case. But those girls are our priority. We've been tracking this ring for months. Your information fills in crucial gaps." He leaned back. "The woman who gave you that note, Diana Morrison, she's been helping us unofficially. So she really was protecting kids like you. She lost everything for it once. Now she does what she can from the shadows." His expression was grave. "Which means you two need to be very careful. These people have eyes everywhere. What should we do?" "Go home. Act normal. If Dr. Reyes pushes the wilderness program, stall. Say you need time to convince your parents. We'll be watching." He gave us his direct number and made us promise to check in daily. The bus ride home was quiet, both of us processing everything we'd learned. "Your hand," Jake said suddenly. I looked down. My left hand had fresh bruises, probably from gripping the binoculars too tight. They looked like finger marks. "We'll say you fell," he said, "but someone's going to notice." He was right. At dinner, Mom zeroed in on them immediately. "What happened?" "Tripped walking Marley," I said. Caught myself weird. She frowned but didn't push it. Dad was distracted by work emails, and Jake smoothly changed the subject to his college plans. But later, while helping with dishes, Mom grabbed my wrist. "These don't look like fall bruises." "Mom, did someone grab you? Was it that woman?" "No, I told you. I fell." She studied my face, then sighed. "I'm calling Dr. Reyes. Maybe we should move up your next appointment." That night, I lay awake thinking about Diana Morrison. Somewhere out there, she was still watching, still protecting kids like me, even after losing everything. My phone buzzed. A text from Jake. "Aunt Diane is coming early. Mom just told me. She'll be here Tuesday." Aunt Diane was Mom's younger sister, a nurse who worked with at-risk youth. She'd always been the cool aunt, the one who actually listened. Maybe, just maybe, we'd found another adult who'd believe us. Saturday morning brought new drama. Mrs. Tarika was at our door before 8, practically vibrating with gossip. "That woman's house," she said breathlessly. "Someone broke in last night. Cops are there now." Mom invited her in for coffee, and I hovered nearby, pretending to read. "Probably looking for her client list," Mrs. Tarika speculated. "Or substances. You know these types always have substances." "Did they catch anyone?" Mom asked. "No, but they made a real mess. Papers everywhere. The police said it looked like someone was searching for something specific." Jake and I exchanged glances. Someone else was looking for those emails. "I'm just glad she's gone," Mom said. "The neighborhood feels safer already." I wanted to scream that Diana Morrison was the only reason I was safe, but I bit my tongue and retreated to my room. Jake knocked a few minutes later. "We need to be more careful." "You think they know we have copies?" "Maybe. Or maybe they're just covering their tracks." He sat on my bed. Agent Williams texted. "He wants us to keep our normal routines. No more investigating." But he's right. We've done our part. Now we wait. Waiting was torture. Every time I saw Tyler at the grocery store or passed Dr. Reyes' office, I wanted to confront them. But I played my role, went to my appointments, pretended to consider the wilderness program. "It does sound interesting," I told Dr. Reyes during Monday's session, "but my parents are worried about the cost." "Oh, there are scholarships available," he said quickly, "for the right candidates, students who show real potential for growth." "Like who?" "Well, Tyler's sister Megan received a full scholarship. She's doing wonderfully now, very focused on her future." I'd seen Megan at school. She used to be loud, funny, always surrounded by friends. Now she walked the halls like a ghost, speaking only when spoken to. "I'd love to talk to her about it," I said. Dr. Reyes' smile tightened. "I'm sure that can be arranged, though she's quite busy with her job at the mall." After the session, I told Mom I wanted to go shopping. She was thrilled I was showing interest in something normal and gave me money for new clothes. The mall was crowded with summer shoppers. I found Megan working at a pretzel stand, mechanically rolling dough. "Hey," I said, "can I get a cinnamon sugar?" She looked up, and for a second, I saw fear flash in her eyes, then recognition. "Sure," she said quietly. While she prepared my order, I leaned closer. "Dr. Reyes suggested I talk to you about the wilderness program." Her hand stilled. "It's great," she said in a flat voice. "Really helped me." "Megan," I said softly, "I know something's wrong. I can help." "You can't," she whispered. "No one can. Just don't go. Make up any excuse, but don't go." "What happened there?" She glanced around, then scribbled something on my receipt. "I can't. They're always watching." I looked at the receipt as I walked away. She'd written, "Not therapy. Ranch work. No pay. No phones. Guards." Tuesday morning, Aunt Diane arrived while I was walking Marley. She looked tired from the drive but hugged me tight. "Let me see my favorite niece," she said, then frowned. "You've lost weight." "Just summer stuff," I said. She noticed my hand next, the bruises now fading to yellow-green. Without a word, she took it gently, examining the marks like the nurse she was. "These are grip marks," she said quietly. "Who grabbed you?" "I fell. Don't lie to me." Her voice was firm but kind. I've seen too many kids with stories about falling. Something in her tone broke through my defenses. "It's complicated. Then let's uncomplicate it. Walk with me." We made a loop around the block while I told her everything. Unlike my parents, she didn't interrupt or dismiss anything. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. "Show me the emails," she said finally. Back in my room, I pulled up the photos on Jake's laptop. Aunt Diane studied them carefully, her expression growing darker. "I know this program," she said. "We've had kids come through the hospital, malnourished, overworked, traumatized, but they're too scared to talk. So you believe me?" Every word. She hugged me again. "And we're going to stop this." That afternoon, while Mom was at her book club, Aunt Diane called a family meeting. Just me, Jake, and Dad. "We need to talk about Dr. Reyes," she began. Dad immediately got defensive. "He's helping her process a traumatic event. He's grooming her for a trafficking ring," Aunt Diane said bluntly. The room erupted. Dad accused her of being dramatic. Jake backed her up with our evidence. I sat frozen, watching my family fracture. Finally, Aunt Diane pulled out her phone. "Listen to this." She played a recording from my session, my voice tiny through the speaker. I hadn't known Jake had given me a recording app, hidden on my old iPod. Dr. Reyes Reyes's voice was clear. Some students need longer to process their issues. The program is very effective at breaking down resistance. Dad's face went pale. You recorded, without consent. To protect your daughter, Aunt Diane snapped. Listen to what he's really saying. Breaking down resistance? That's not therapy terminology. The recording continued. Dr. Reyes describing how difficult girls benefited from time away from negative influences. How parents were often too close to see what their children really needed. When it ended, Dad slumped in his chair. Oh my God. We're pulling her from therapy immediately, Aunt Diane said, and we're reporting him to the licensing board. But if he's connected to something bigger? The FBI is already investigating, Jake said. We've been in contact with them. Dad looked between us, confusion and hurt warring on his face. Why didn't you tell me? Because you didn't believe me, I said quietly. Neither did Mom. He flinched like I'd slapped him. I thought I was protecting you. You were protecting your idea of what happened, Aunt Diane said, gentler now. It's easier to believe your child was confused than to accept that predators operate in plain sight. We spent the next hour going over everything. Dad called Agent Williams himself, needing to hear it from an authority figure. By the time Mom came home, he was fully on board. Convincing Mom was harder. She'd invested so much in the narrative of Diana Morrison as predator that accepting the truth meant admitting she'd endangered me. This is insane, she kept saying. Dr. Reyes is respected. He has degrees. So did the doctors who overprescribed opioids, Aunt Diane said. Credentials don't equal ethics. It took showing her Megan's note, explaining how Tyler was recruiting girls, playing Agent Williams' confirmation on speaker. Finally, she broke down crying. I almost sent you to that camp, she sobbed. I almost, but you didn't, I said, hugging her. We stopped it in time. The next few days were a whirlwind.